Alright, Daredevil, you blind as all hell, but can do all this kung fu acrobatic shit, and I can't do a goddamn thing. I kinda hate you, but I respect you, but I really kinda just fucking hate you. What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad of Granddad Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews TV Data Netflix Pick. We got a TV show review today, and we're going to be talking about a brand new series that just dropped from the folks over at Marvel. You know, the niggas that make all them damn comics that we just know and love, like Spider-Man and X-Men. I don't read comic books. I read like 2, and then I was like, yo, maybe just give me a goddamn movie. But that's what we're talking about, the new series from them, and it's all about that nigga who can't see a goddamn thing, but he walk around fucking niggas up. Marvel's Daredevil. Now, like I said, Marvel's Daredevil is a brand new web-based TV series exclusively on Netflix, and it centers around the character and superhero and super vigilante, if you want to call him, of the same name, Daredevil. Now, for those who aren't familiar with who Daredevil is as a character and a superhero, he was a young kid who got into an accident and he became blind. But by that happening, all of his other senses became super heightened to the point where he could do all this crazy shit and see, well, not see, but he can smell and hear and do all the other senses and shit at a way better rate than a regular person, which made him even more deadly a motherfucker. He's also a very skilled martial artist and stealth specialist. I don't even know if that's a real goddamn thing. I just made it up, but he's stealth. He's a stealthy motherfucker. Basically, Daredevil is Marvel's version of Batman, just broke and blind and doesn't have utility belt. None of that. He got 2 sticks. That's pretty much all he's got. But that's Daredevil, and they actually made a movie back in 2003 starring Ben Affleck, and it was kind of whack. And by kind of whack means it was really fucking whack. And I was like, yo, why are you gonna do Daredevil like that? But some 12 years later, they're back with a new, revitalized, darker, grittier, more dramatic edge to Daredevil, and it's something that I really think needs to be talked about, so let's talk about the shit. Now, the first thing that I realized about this Daredevil show when I started watching is that it is a lot more serious and dramatic than your standard Hollywood feature film superhero movie. They really don't play off the whole Daredevil's a superhero thing. They really make him seem like a regular person who goes by the name of Matt Murdock. That's his real, identity. He's a lawyer in Hell's Kitchen, New York, and he really just wants to fucking help New York and make it a better place with his partner named Foggy Nelson. I think it's Franklin Nelson, but they call him Foggy. And there are 2 lawyers who went into business together to just try to help out the people in the community and make things fair for people who don't have the money and the power as the people who are corrupt in the city that they're living in. Now, one thing about this series that you realize is that it starts off with Daredevil not really being Daredevil. He's called the Mask because he doesn't have an actual Daredevil outfit. He just wears a goddamn do-rag over his face. It looks like an oversized do-rag with a black shirt and black pants. And he goes around just, saving people that he hears in distress. And, he tries to take down mobs and, people who are just, doing a whole bunch of bad shit and corrupting the entire area. But what Matt Murdock doesn't realize is as he continues to do his vigilante shit, he ends up messing around with the wrong people, such as the Russian mob and the Japanese mob and this old Chinese lady who does human and drug trafficking on the low, and also Wilson Fisk, who is actually Kingpin, the actual villain Kingpin. He's like the main villain and protagonist in this whole damn show, and he's going against this motherfucker head on, and he's just realizing that it's a lot more involved and a lot more people involved than one person, just this one person trying to take on, and he's trying to do it on his own, but he really can't do it, and he ends up getting his ass whooped a good amount in this actual show. Speaking of ass whoopings, the fight scenes in here are some of the best I've seen in any web series. For one specific reason, for me personally, they look realistic. When Matt Murdock or Daredevil is having these fight scenes or these altercations with either these groups or these one individuals, it looks real. Like when he's fighting them, you can tell he's fighting for his life. It doesn't look like one of those superhero movies where they fight and then like after they whoop everybody's ass with ease and then walk away like they can run a mile and there's no scrapes or bruises or exhaustion. Not here. When he's fighting, you can tell, you feel exhausted watching this nigga fight because you say, okay, the fight's done. No, it's not. They're not giving up so easily, and it just brings the element of realness to the fact that he is just a real person who with heightened senses and really good martial arts skills, but that's it. He's not a superhero at all. He doesn't have superpowers. He's just a regular dude when it comes to taking pain and fighting people. He can get hit and punched and get cut and stabbed and shot just like any of us, and that's what makes the realism to the fight scenes a lot more better for me. And another thing that I like about the show, probably more than the fight scene, is actually the character development in here. You can see so much going on with all the characters in here, not just the main characters of Kingpin and Daredevil, but also his friend Foggy and Karen, which is a woman that he saved early in the show, who ended up actually becoming friends and working for the law firm that he and his friend runs. Also, Rosario Dawson plays a nurse named Claire, who ends up being sort of a love interest to Daredevil, as well as a reporter by the name of Ben. I can't remember his last fucking name. He's this nigga named Ben, but he gets really involved in figuring out what's going on in New York and who's behind all this corruption and all this crime and all these things that are happening. You get to really see, as the episodes go, all these characters' developments and also what their backstories are, especially Daredevil and Kingpin. You get to see, actually, they got flashbacks of their childhoods and what happened and how it shaped them, and it really just brings sort of a full circle thing to their character in the present tense now, and why it is that they all do what they do at the time being at the events that are occurring in this show. And to me, that actually makes the show a lot better because we can actually be able to connect with the actual characters more. On top of that, it's very action-packed. It's very intriguing. The acting is done well. The shooting is done well. It's got a nice, good, gritty, dark, mature tone to it. It really doesn't even feel like you're watching a superhero-themed show. And Marvel really, really did a good job with this as far as making it seem more of an actual drama and more of an actual series that's not just based around some guy in a costume or some guy in a mask walking around trying to play superhero. It's actually consequences and things he has to worry about through his actions, and you can actually see that these things are actually affecting Matt Murdock as a person and as a character, and also the people around him. This is a very, very well done show, and I was very surprised with it because Daredevil isn't that as high praise as other superheroes in the Marvel Universe, but the fact that this show focuses on this character so well, I think it's going to really knock him up a notch. So I'm liking this show. The only bad thing I have to say about the show is that nothing. I ain't got nothing bad to say. I like the goddamn show. It's dope. It's everything on it. It's clicking on all cylinders. And the fact that they released the whole season on Netflix, like straight up, they don't make you wait. You can watch the whole thing. You're going to binge watch the whole thing. That's what I did. I ended up binge watching this shit. And it's just a dope series. And I cannot wait for the second season because I know that they're going to already build on what they've already done in season 1, which is pretty much getting you used to the characters, how they are, who they are, and I'm guessing in the next season we're going to just take it to another level. I'm not going to give away anything about the season. Watch the show. If you got Netflix, you got to watch this shit because, especially if you're a Marvel fan, but because in general it's a good fucking show on all levels. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Marvel's Daredevil is an all-around awesome web series that you gotta check out. All I'm saying is that the character development on here is top-notch, the writing is good, shooting is good, action scenes are dope, and you just want to know what's going to happen in the next episode, and when you finish the fucking episode, you want to know what's going to happen in the next season. It really builds up real well, and everything on it is just fucking clicking on all cylinders, and Marvel did their damn thing, especially revitalizing the Daredevil franchise and character this way. It was smart. Instead of doing a movie, taking it to this more mature, more serious, more gritty, more darker tone, and it paid off, and I'm loving this show, and it is the shit. So I got nothing more to say. So all I really got to say is that Marvel's Daredevil, for me, is 100% Granddad approved, so definitely check this shit out. It's out right now on Netflix. Get your show on, get your binge watch on, and you will love this series. Even if you're not a Marvel superhero type person, you're going to just love the goddamn show because it's a great show all around on all levels. And I got to be real with y'all, I can't take all the credit for this show for myself. I got to give a shout out to my subscriber Jason Mullen, who actually put me onto this show. Good looking out. You knew what the fuck he was talking about. So the Granddad approves that recommendation. So nothing more to say. Daredevil is Granddad approved. Flip it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Daredevil if you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, like I said, it's out right now on Netflix. Definitely check it out. It is worth the watch. I'm going to watch the whole season again just to get myself super hyped for season 2 because this shit's just fucking dope. Nothing more to say about it. Just go watch the shit right now. Previous video was on the side as well as my music video. Check those out, showing some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram. Links in the description below. And subscribe. Button on the screen. Button below. Woolly Reviews, twice a week, gaming channel, check that out, and I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddaughter, Marvel's Daredevil, this shit is dope. I wish I could do this shit and I can even fucking see. I don't know how. Teach me, Daredevil. I'm out of here.